You're wise beyond your years, Jacob. Well beyond your years. Wise to things you have no business knowing. Things you can't forget. You should have known better than to deal with that one. The filthy one. His deals have a reputation for turning sour. But boy, isn't he a great salesman? To know all of life's secrets, to see your shortcomings, and to learn how to fix them. You've rationalized this dealing by pleading ignorance. He did come to you in a dream, after all. But lie to yourself all you want, Jacob. You knew it was real. You could feel it. You'll never forget that first walk along the ominous shore. The first time you saw him. The filthy man. Sat in a bundle of robes. He offered you a blank piece of paper. Without uttering a word, you knew what it was. It was an offer. An offer to answer all your questions. But the answers would change who you were. No going back. To stamp the agreement, he gave you a mask to wear. This would be your new face. The new you. You walked to the water and spied a glass jar. Like all dreams, you just knew what to do with it. You instantly understood that this water represented the ocean of knowledge, and this glass vessel would let you talk to it. Unlucky in love, you decided your first question would aim to change that. You understood the answer hid in your heart. So you reached into your chest and removed it, placing it in the glass jar. You placed the jar into the waters and watched it drift to some unseen force beyond the horizon. You waited and watched as the ocean churned sickly and spat back your heart. The tide taking it to you as if exchanging messages in a bottle. Once in hand, you saw your heart was now black. As soon as you touched it, you had your answer. It wasn't love you wanted at all. It was lust. And you had been going about satisfying that craving all wrong. You took your heart and placed it back inside your chest. But it felt different. You could no longer love or care. It was as if you had a cancer of the heart. And as it pumped that coldness around your body, you lost that healthy dose of fear that kept you awkward around girls. It wasn't long after awakening that you put your new skills to work. Pleasures of the flesh came easy and often now, but you weren't satisfied. You felt depressed. Soon you had another dream. Found yourself back at that strange shore. Once again, you approached the glass jar. This time, you wanted to know the cause of your unhappiness. So you pulled out your brain and set it adrift in the jar. It made its journey to and fro the horizon, and upon its return, you could see that it too, like the heart, had been covered in a vile black substance. You placed your brain back inside your skull and realized you were depressed because you were in a rut. You needed change. You needed to be thrilled. You needed danger. Back in the real world, you began to visit shady places and met shady people. It wasn't long before you were doing drugs. Hard ones. The lack of money had you doing hard favors too. Favors only the new you could do. Eventually, this new life too had grown tired. You had become desensitized to everything. Your hunger for new things, gone. You had no motivation to continue as you are. You wanted to go back to who you were. Eventually you found yourself in that dream once more, walking along the foreboding shores. This time, you wanted to know how to go back. Back to before this whole thing had started. You knew the problem was that you had changed. You were not you anymore. This time you spoke your words into the jar and set it to sail. The jar, however, had come back empty. And like in all strange dreams, you understood this meant you never could go back. You gave yourself, your soul, to be another. That was the deal. The old you for the new you. Turns out the grass wasn't any greener. It was then that you noticed your hands. They were black. You tried to wash them in the ocean, but it didn't come off. Then you thought about your heart and your brain. What you had learned had turned them black. The secrets bestowed upon you were poison, filth, and it spread inside you until you became filth. That was the new you. Then you used your filthy hands to touch the lives of others, spreading the filth further. That's how the filthy man touched the world, through people like you, the naive and lazy, offering shortcuts with corrupted knowledge. It was then that you realized that true knowledge couldn't be given. It had to be experienced. Without experience, knowledge had no reference point. That was the point of life, the trials and the tribulations. There were no shortcuts. The filthy man had taken your innocence and remade you in his image. And now you were miserable like him, damned like him, drowning in knowledge without a reference point to orient yourself. You were lost. When you woke up, you noticed your nose had been bleeding. Remembering your dream, you had a thought, followed by a sickening feeling. It wasn't long before you got your results back from the hospital. You were riddled with cancer. Trying to squeeze 40 years worth of life into a few had done a number on you. All the hard drugs, the stress and guilt from the things you had seen and done. You sold your soul to live, but didn't realize you were dying. But now you knew. A curious mind and no moral fiber. You straddle the line of the blackest of blacks and the brightest of fire. Trading your breath away to drown in your desires. Lips cerulean blue, you sold your soul to live and didn't